Now, in February 2007, I got my first job in the nonprofit sector. I was super excited because I was going to be the program coordinator of this great nonprofit that provided free job skills training to women in New York City. Now, shortly after I was hired, my boss told me that part of my job would be to be her assistant, and I would have to do some junk work. Now, junk work, she said, would never entail, doing anything that would kind of inconvenience me or would take precedence over my actual day-to-day job. Now, I call bullshit on this. So I started to ask people about what did junk work actually entail. So my coworker tells me that she had asked her previous assistant to go and exchange a $100 bill into singles because she was going to South Africa on safari and wanted to give the little African children single dollar bills. So at that point, I said, okay, what have I gotten myself into? I have just started this job. I cannot quit this job. We're gonna push forward. So now some of the junk work that I did was basic stuff like her errands, like putting together her class that she taught at Columbia, getting her prepared for her book club because she didn't want to read the fucking book, so I had to give her the questions, I had to give her all the summaries and all of that shit, I was like, all right, fine, this is okay. Some of it was stuff for her family. Her husband was so forgetful, so she would say, Jennifer, my husband has left his random article of clothing at this random doctor's office. Go pick it up and then drop it off at his office across town. So I did that pretty often. Other times, she would ask me to do stuff for her daughter, who was also the same age as me. One such project, she comes in all hyped up, and she says, Jennifer, because that's how she always called me. Jennifer, I have a special project for you. And I said, yes, what is this great project that you have? And she says, I need you to find the perfect teapot. So I said, okay. She said, my daughter is going to a bridal shower, and I believe that when women get married, they just disconnect, but they come together over tea. So I need you to find the perfect teapot so that my daughter can bring this as a gift. This was a lot of fucking pressure, okay? Now, first of all, when I think of the perfect teapot, I'm like, what is between $16.99 and $24.99 at Target? That's it. That's all. I'm not thinking about what teapot is going to ensure that a group of friends will stay friends forever. So, okay, I'm on it. This took a whole fucking day of me online showing her a teapot. Do you like the spout? Can it hold enough water? Is the color okay for your daughter's friend's kitchen? I don't know. Whole day. Now, as time goes on, I learned more about her, and I generally learned that working with her was kind of like walking on eggshells when you were going through a hurricane and then getting punished for breaking the eggshells. It's like, it's gonna happen. And I also learned that she really didn't really care about quality of life as it pertained to me. Now, case in point, the honey-baked ham incident of 2007. So, it is around the holiday times, and around the holidays, she puts her little Santa hat on. She wants to give gifts to her staff. The admin staff all get a flowering plant. The maintenance staff get a honey-baked ham. So I've done everything that I can to make sure the hams are going to the right people. I've ordered everything. People are not on vacation because I cannot have a ham just sitting out and not going to a person. And I'm thinking things are good. Now that whole week, I'm feeling really, really sick. And again, she doesn't care about my quality of life. So she's just like, whatever. Thursday, I'm coughing, I have a fever, I'm a fucking zombie. Finally, at 4:30 p.m. on Thursday, she says, Jennifer, you don't look good. Go home, I don't want you infecting people, and take off tomorrow. So I said, thank you. Went home. Next day, I get a phone call from my coworker. And she's like, Jen, I'm so sorry to call you right now, but she has a question about the hams. So I'm just thinking to myself, what question could you have about these fucking hams that she needs to call me when I'm at home? So I'm like, what's the question about the hams? She tells me Rosie received 2 hams. Rosie is one of our maintenance members who's a fucking suck-up because she could have just accepted the second ham and just gone about her day, but she did not. She had to go right to the boss to say, I got an extra ham, and there's an issue. So now we have a national fucking emergency with the extra ham. So I'm like, all right, this is okay. So I had prepared. I had printed up a folder. I had printed out all the invoices. So I told my coworker, there's a folder. It's to the right of my keyboard. It has all of the invoices. You'll see the addresses of the people, so you'll know who got the hams and all of that stuff. You should be all set. I thought I was good. There were several more calls because she needed to know how could I have possibly fucked this up that Rosie got 2 hams. And I'm just like, it's Honey Baked Ham. Like, it's not me. So it ends up that I have to actually call Honey Baked Ham Company and get the information from my friend and then figure out why Rosie got 2 hams. Rosie got 2 hams because somebody was feeling generous. She got 2, everybody else got 1, we only paid for 1. So she actually made out like a bandit. Now, at that point, I should have left, but I stayed because I was like, no, I need to make it for at least another year. So I'm like, I need to make it for like a full year in this job. So I'm just there, just, you know, working. And she tasked me with putting together this dinner that's going to be like these thought leaders from the nonprofit sector. We're going to talk about workforce issues, women's workforce issues. And she's like, put together some points and like coordinate this dinner. And I'm all about it, so I'm doing it. And as I'm waiting for the women to come in, you know, to tell them where to go, I look at them and I realize, I know these bitches. This is her book club. She has actually gotten me to coordinate a book club dinner and then had me put together talking points for her to go over and then she asked me to serve the salad at the book club dinner. And at that point, I saw myself just slowly shaking that bowl over her head and walking out in a dramatic fashion, but I didn't. I put the salad bowl down and I said, I hope that you have a pleasant evening, and I went home and started to look for a new job. Thank you.